courageous people who have always stood united and strong to reject external interference and domination. Despite decades of sanctions, blockades and other restrictions, Cuba has demonstrated to the world that unjust behavior cannot kill the conscience of the peace and freedom-loving people. The embargo against Cuba has not weakened the Cuban people's passions, nationalist vision and defense of sovereignty. Our solidarity goes to the people and leaders of Cuba in their efforts to defend national sovereignty. At this very moment, I deem it important to remember the great leader of Cuba, Fidel Castro, and the great revolutionary leader, Comrade Che Guevara, who liberated Cuba from the corrupt despotic regime of Batista and established progressive system in the country. Personally, I want to respect and remember Comrade Che Guevara because time and again, hundreds of times, I gone through his one very important book, just like a handbook, The Guerrilla Warfare, when I was leading the insurgency in this country against feudal autocratic system. Their contribution is not confined to Cuba only. We too have received boundless inspiration from great revolutionary leaders of Cuba in our struggle to liberate Nepali people from the clutches of despotic and autocratic regime. So, our vision and journey have some similarity in pursuit of socialism. This brings us closer and closer to our political objectives. Dear friends, the sanction against Cuba is against the universal norms and values of human rights. The cost that Cuba has been bearing due to trade embargo has gone over $130 billion in the past 6 decades. The UN General Assembly adopts every year a resolution calling for an end to the embargo, and with the overwhelming majority, it has been almost 26 years that the international community has rejected the sanctions against Cuba. Yet, despite strong global call, it is continuing. The voice of the international community must be heard. We support the United Nations resolution and call for respecting Cuba's sovereignty and people's aspiration and ending the embargo. Nepal has consistently and unequivocally voted UN resolution in favor of Cuba. Distinguished delegates, in Nepal, we are proud to share with you that the struggle of the Nepali people over the past 7 decades ultimately resulted in the formation of the strong Communist Party-led government elected by the people. We would like to celebrate this victory with all our well-wishers around the world. We welcome feedback and support to strengthen our progressive internationalism. The merger of 2 big communist parties, which played a decisive role in political transition of Nepal, has inspired and encouraged people of Nepal and generated hope among the poor, marginalized and disadvantaged communities. We have finally concluded the unification process of our party, and very soon we are going to hold our National Congress, which will further strengthen our party, promote people's participation in our party process and provide us with updated ideological direction. In Nepal, we are practicing federalism with 3 tiers of the government. The constitution has delineated the powers and authorities of 3 tiers of federal setup. Our federalism is premised on the tenets of coexistence, inclusiveness and cooperation. The past 1 year was dedicated to formulate and amend laws and policies to operationalize the new governance structure. Our government had to spend significant amount of time to make adjustment into our national policies, economy, etc., with more nationalist, independent, and progressive people's perspective. Our government has been pursuing foreign policy based on the principle of sovereign equality, mutual respect, and benefits. The government is committed to enhancing friendly ties with our immediate neighbors, India and China, and with all other countries in the world. Amity with all and enmity with none is our foreign policy motto. Prosperous Nepal and happy Nepal is our national aspiration, and our development efforts are geared toward realizing this aspiration. Distinguished delegates, Nepal and Cuba share friendly ties. We share not only bonds of friendship of 44 years, but are very close to each other in terms of national vision, defending sovereignty and promoting progressive internationalism. Our relations are not confined to government level alone. People-to-people relations are steadily growing, thereby consolidating the foundation of our relationship. However, we don't have strong trade and commercial relations due to some geographical limitations. Cuba is an example to the world how a sustainable economy can be promoted with people's determination and confidence amidst several adversities. Tourism industry is flourishing, and the country has implemented one of the most successful social security systems. Nepal and Cuba are geographically far apart. This has somehow limited our overall interaction with Cuba, but development of modern technology and revolutionization in transportation system have reduced the world into a global village. Geographical distance is no longer an obstacle in the traditional sense of the term. There are many ways in which our partnership can be promoted and enhanced for the mutual benefit of our two countries and people. We are thankful to the Cuban government and leaders for sending medical team and assisting us during the devastating earthquake in 2015. The support from Cuba was prompt, spontaneous, and genuine. Distinguished delegates and peace campaigners, today the world order has become more complex and uncertain. There is a growing tendency to undermine multilateralism and the rule-based system. Unilateral action and protectionism run contrary to the internationalist perspective that we are all committed to pursuing. International system has not been fully democratized, and international institutions are not immune from power politics. A just, fair, and democratic world order is yet to be achieved. We progressive forces all over the world need to work together to realize these historical objectives. Solidarity, unity, and understanding among us is very important to advance our common agenda for peace, security, and development in our countries and other parts of the world. I am confident that this gathering of the leaders of peace and solidarity movement would come up with the concrete suggestion and recommendation for making the world a safer and just place for everyone to live in peace and dignity without any interference. The humanity has come a long way, and in the course of its evolution, it has developed universal values of equality and mutual respect. We must practice them for our common goal. Sovereign equality is the fundamental basis of international relations. It is equal for all, big or small, rich or poor, and will remain so. International role without responsibility is not justifiable. So is the power without obligation. Justice should remain at the core of international behavior. Let's work together to promote solidarity and understanding for a just and democratic world order. Let the people of Cuba enjoy their rights and their freedom. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.